Okay, as I said I would do a video of a couple of times, we have some more pop-up books, and I have Joanna helping me out with filming so that I may show the very complicated and technical process of putting batteries in them. There's two books in the set, the Jabba's Palace pop-up book and the Mos Eisley Cantina pop-up book. The Jabba's Palace pop-up book is the one with original EU. They're both written by Kevin J. Anderson and Rebecca Moesta, his wife, writers of Young Jedi Knights, and illustrated by Ralph McQuarrie. Now, while Jabba's Palace pop-up book is the only one with original EU, it was so easy to complete the set one more book that I had to get the other one. Which kind of gives me the idea of different tiers of EU collecting. So, this is not official, but for example, we could call just all the original EU, but you have all the original EU, like the Matt Wilkins tier, right? So he would be happy and content with an incomplete set, but as long as he had the one with original EU. The step up from that would be all the original EU, but complete sets. So that would entail having both of them. And that would be like, for, at the very least, what Brennan is ultimately aiming for with his collection. And then above that, there would be like the Christopher Nelson tier, which would be the original EU, the complete set, but then he would also have like the editor's proof that you didn't know existed, and like maybe some Ralph McQuarrie contracts for his work, and maybe some like letters of correspondence between Ralph McQuarrie and Kevin J. Anderson that you didn't know existed, and so on. So, to get to putting the batteries in one, I put the batteries in one, we'll watch the other so we don't waste a bunch of time doing it. That is the battery pack. And I'll unscrew it here in a sec. You can see that the book's thickness, a big portion of it is just empty space to allow for the electronics, and then it's got a few pages. But we will try to do this quickly. Now, batteries corrode over time. So if you're buying this off YouTube, I don't have any good definitive advice to give you. Is that magnetic? The heck? Okay. I don't have any definitive advice to give you regarding battery corrosion, other than that it might not be the best idea to buy this sealed. You think you've got a great deal. Oh. You think you've got a great deal, but if it's sealed, it means the batteries have been in there for about 20 years. Also, make sure that you don't break your book. Now, this was like this. These came undone. Oh, this is real smooth. Oh my goodness. Ha! Whew. It's very stressful. And of course the batteries are not out of the cardboard yet. One of these I bought sealed. And there was some battery corrosion, but the electronics still work. One of them wasn't sealed, and it didn't come with batteries in it, and there was no corrosion. So it's really just a gamble. Okay. And I don't store these with the batteries in them. Let's just hope we can Wow. Expertly done. So, we'll start with the Mos Eisley Cantina pop-up book. The one without original EU. And it works more like, I don't know, a source book. Jawas, Greedo, Momanda Dawn. He's from Jedi Academy trilogy, right? My cat's gonna start hollering. It's his dinner time. It's very inconsiderate of me, frankly, to do this at this hour. There was one bit in here. The moisture farmer sells his hard-won harvest of water to underground greenhouses in distant villages so that other farmers can raise their crops. And I wonder where that bit about underground greenhouses comes from. Very potentially some other Star Wars source. But it's at least something very obscure repeated here, so I thought it was noteworthy. But, you know, you go through a few pages, and this one only has one pop-up feature, but it's glorious. You ready for this, hon? Look at that. That's serious business. And there's actually a key right back here that'll tell you who everybody is. And they're all numbered. Well, the keyword. Let's not get into that now. So there's two buttons here. One right on the reverse of the battery panel, and then another one. And so, the first one, cat's all alarmed. Riveting. This one's even better. You'll see a little light here. I don't know if you can see it. And there, and there, and those would be the ones to watch. You can just hold it down. Totally sweet. So, one thing to note right now about Ralph McQuarrie doing these pop-up books is that he very likely was contracted to do the work when he did the work for Kevin J. Anderson, also written by Kevin J. Anderson, the Illustrated Star Wars Universe, because there's some shared art, and I think they're published around the same time. So, right. Here's a nice little surprise. I actually bought it knowing that they were signed, but it was one from one of those bulk sellers, and so you don't know if the one that you're buying is the one that they're going to send you, and it was. And I looked up Kevin Anderson's and Rebecca Moesta's signatures, and it is authentic. So that was a nice grab. But one of the Planet Tatooine's art pieces, that's the same, right? Yeah, as you can see. So this one is the original EU. And what is it about? I won't ruin all of it. Well, I will. I will say that we're now going to approach spoiler territory. It's about the Gamorrean guard who gets eaten by the Rancor in Return of the Jedi. Get a little bits of his family life. And this one has two pop-up page panels. And a little feature here. As you can see the Rancor down there. And what does this do? My cat's very upset, you can't see. Now, tragically, we're going to need more YouTube videos about this book, at least. Brennan, Alex, son of Luke perhaps. Perhaps it's already out there. The second sound feature on this one doesn't work. There actually isn't a press button indication, but I can feel something here that's supposedly should be able to be pressed. Let me know. We must know what sound it makes, because I don't. And here's the final spoiler. If you haven't read this, Brennan, if you haven't read this and you want to save this twist, this excellent contribution to the EU, shut off the video now. And some people that have the book even miss this. Here's the final bit of story. Or is it? Okay, we actually know this is here if you watch Matt Wilkins' stories. There's more to the story. What is revealed within this final panel? It's usually seated in there more smoothly too. It's easy to miss. Here's the big reveal. This Gamorrean guard, Jabba. Jabba lives. He lives in Return of the Jedi. The one that gets eaten by the Rancor. He lives. They cut him out of his stomach at the end. And he goes on with his life. A truly happy story. And I actually wonder, who's that Gamorrean guard? He's Thok from, or is that Hor? No, that's the Tusken Raider. Thok from Masters of Terras Kasi. I think we're going to need some, like a Hand of Thrawn 45 trilogy, you know, chronicling the adventures of Thok and Jabba. You know, where did they go from here? I'm joking. That's kind of a good idea. All right, thank you.